Well, hello, my silky friends. Good morning to you all. You are looking lovely, as always. As always. Um, I hope that you are not too stressed out about the holiday, and I hope you have some great holiday plans with either friends or family. And if you don't, I do have to work on Thursday, but I'm gonna go live maybe earlier and stay on longer. I don't know. It just depends. We're going to hang out on Thursday. For anybody who doesn't have plans and you just really want to chill, talk, whatever, I'm thinking about doing a dual stream to my paranormal channel, um, just in case any of them are lonely. So there is no telling what we will talk about. I want to say hello to everybody. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Kayla. Nobody, nothing. Hello, hello. Don McKenzie. Good to see you. Artist. Whoop whoop. I got a message from you. Do you have my email, don't you? Um, Sometimes I'm slow in responding to stuff because I'm at work, or on the way to work, or brain dead from work. So my job is really difficult. It is way more difficult than the job I did at the jail. So I am chronically tired. Good morning, Samantha. Good to see ya. Freeze dry it. Hopefully, we won't get trolled too bad today, but you never know. Digital. Good to see you here. I'm glad I love my replay crew. Um, I get a lot of comments from the replay crew, but I love to have you live too. Shay Watson, hello. Good morning, Fragaria. Good to see you. It's a new day. Hello, hello. All right, let me not miss anybody who was here in the very beginning. Crime Talk with B. Hello. Let's see. I'm gonna catch up with you. Oh my goodness. Mario. It's time to party. I wish I was in a party mood. I'm snotty. Like the hair. The hair. I'm feral today, which is most days. But I was trying to look more presentable, and then I thought, oh, I haven't taken the dog out, so I walked outside, and like the wind, whew, I'm like, you know what? It's and a friend of mine once told me your hair is wild and untamable, just like you are. I'm like, well, that's pretty accurate. Um, okay, what are you saying? Digital says I have to say Mr. Jeff Slaughter looks just like Warren Jeffs. I don't I don't even think I know what he looks like. Um Jeff Slaughter. I don't know who that is. Who is that? Let's see. Huh. Okay. Okay, I'm going to stay out of some of the comments. I'm going to stay out of that business. Um we are going to talk Delphi today. And I'm telling you what I'm gonna be doing, and this is a long haul, okay? Because think about it, and I'm only gonna have a few clips today, but when we were all watching the trial, it was like so intense, right? We couldn't see anything all day, and then we would watch Defense Diaries or Andrea, and a lot of you watched a lot of other channels, and we were talking about the recap. You were watching the recap of the people that were there, and a lot of people watched either Hidden True Crime, Defense Diaries, or Andrea Burkhart. I tried to watch Andrea and catch up also with Defense Diaries, and so we were gleaning all this information in the evenings, right? And I'm trying to work and still listen, right? It's crazy. And then talk about it some the next day. So it was very grueling for us that were, trying to keep everybody up to date as well. And so I have decided I'm going to be going back through Andrea's defense diaries was great. Andrea was very, very detailed in every day's recap. She had tons of notes. So, and think about her broadcasts were like 3 to 5 hours. And so I am going to be going through a lot of that line by line to see some of the things that were talked about in the case. Also, we will still be, we're still talking. We're still waiting for something to happen with appeals. We know that's coming. And we're going to look at, also the website on what we can do to help Richard Allen. And I meant to put that up on the screen and I didn't do it. I am sorry, y'all. There's a whole lot. Let me go back to see what you're saying. Good morning, Canadian Nana. It is so good to see you too. Is it cold up there in Canada right now? I'm kind of assuming it is, but I don't know. Okay, JD says he watched Lawyer Lee. Oh, I forgot about Lawyer Lee. I did watch some of her stuff as well. I sure did. It was hard. It was hard keeping up with everyone. Yes, Samantha, Andrea was very dedicated with her notes. She was so detailed. That's the thing. I think that when you go back and you're gleaning, there's just so much. I don't know how she took as many notes as she did. I really my flabbers were gasted. I don't know how you could do all this, but interesting. It's a new day, says Justice Loretta Rush is close to Franny Gull. Oh my goodness. Indiana will be in the 20s the whole weekend. Hey, I want to tell you something. And I've always said Indiana and Alabama weather, we're in the same, it's cooler up there, but we get a lot of the same weather patterns. I don't know, it's weird. I noticed that when I started watching Delphi a couple of years ago. It's like, you're not that different. We are also going to be in the 20s this weekend, and I think part of next week. I can't, y'all. I just can't. That is hibernation weather, and I do not understand why we are not allowed to just hibernate like bears. I don't understand why I don't still get a paycheck and I can't just lay in a ball on the couch in front of a heater with 20 blankets on me, because we don't do cold here. And when it gets cold here, I don't know how it is up in Indiana, but our it's not our dew point. It's just the what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Our air is not dry. It's very wet, and there is a weather term for that. And I'm not braining this morning. But we are just, when it's hotter, it's hotter. Like when it's hot, it's not just blazing hot. You have this steam coming off the ground. It's like a jungle out here. And then in the wintertime, when it's cold, it is colder here, because I have been to places up north that literally have way colder temperatures than we do, but it is not as soul crushing. Does that make sense? Because it's dry. Oh, it's dry. That's it. And y'all might have said it in the comments. It's wet. It's wet here all the time. And it's just no. It's just no. The humidity is so intense that when you add that cold weather, you don't want to live anymore. Especially if you like the warm weather. Shay, talking about the transcripts. Yes, I was trying to do it directly from YouTube, and I can't. Well, I mean, if you I found an app, though. I found an app. There's always an app for that, right? And I downloaded just one, and I only got a few lines in. I'm like, oh, holy Moses, this is going to take a long time for each show. But that's okay. What have we got to do, right? We're still talking Delphi. We're still looking, and we're, we're just going to be going over the stuff. I did find a few interesting things on X, too. Actually, I will be sharing some of the stuff on X that just little blips that I'm pulling from Andreas Transcripts, okay? So if you I don't know how often, I mean, it's probably going to be a lot and then nothing and a lot and that, because that's the way my life is. But yeah, I did post a few things on there this morning. So if I'm not trying to do a whole lot on X. It is my source. X is my source of information. So, but I am sharing some stuff. This is my second cup of coffee, y'all. Because my first cup, it wasn't good. It was weak. I like my coffee like I like my men. Strong. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. Let's see. Oh no, Samantha. I understand what the cold weather does for some people. Who did I say? Oh, Dark Arts. Hello. Where did you come in at? There you are. Good to see ya. So yeah. If you're not doing anything on Thanksgiving morning, we're just gonna be hanging. Probably we might talk some paranormal. We might not. That's whatever you want to talk about. Oh, CBS is not showing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I am so bummed. I hope somebody is. I don't know why I like it. It's really so silly. I love the Thanksgiving Day Parade. I think it goes back to my childhood or something, but it's kind of a tradition, and I'm like, oh. You'd love to talk anything? Well, if I do a dual stream to my ghost channel, we may end up talking about a lot of things. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let me start with a little bit. This is from Andreas Transcript. Let me make this bigger so I can see it. And so we were talking about Melissa Oberg, and we're talking about the gun and all of that kind of stuff. And sorry, my dog wants to go nuts when I go on live. Mina and Sachi both want to show out. All right. So she is she's reading from her notes, and she says, I'll give you the gist. It was that Mina, hush. Having examined the bullet, if you are able to provide me with a Sig Sauer or Smith & Wesson firearm, I will be able to work magic. This is her. I will be able to work magic on it. That was how it was phrased during the testimony yesterday, according to Mr. Holman. The way that Mr. McClellan put it was whether they believed that after she examined the bullet, so she would be able to match it to a Sig Sauer or a Smith & Wesson. So acknowledging this comment, that is pretty bad. It really is. You're going to work magic on it? Show me. Really? If you've examined the bullet, this is mind-blowing to me, okay? It's mind-blowing to me that the jury hears things like this. I would love to know what they were thinking. I really don't know what they were thinking. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. I found something on X. It's rumor, okay? It's rumor. But you have to wonder. I have to wonder. Are we watching the same trial? And you're actually there. I'm just hearing it secondhand. But are we really listening to the same thing? Because I don't think so. But anyway, yeah, show me the bullet, and if you will provide me with, I mean, did you get that? If you are able to provide me with a Sig Sauer or a Smith & Wesson firearm, I will be able to work magic on it. Well, that seems a little odd to me. Okay, so basically it was show me the man, I'll show you the crime. Yeah, I got this bullet, just bring me one of these guns and I can make it work. Magic, sorcery, alchemy. Yes, that's what you get with these kind of techniques. That is subjective, unscientific technique. And he seemed to acknowledge that statement. But he says that he was misunderstood. And in fact, she did link it. I love this part. She did link it to a 6-hour nothing to see here, people. And so I'm already a bit concerned, Andreas says. Yeah, a 6-hour nothing to see here, people. I think this whole trial, if you want to break it down, the whole trial, in my opinion, was a very long, weeks long, nothing to see here, people. There is no evidence. So it's in, it's crazy. Oh, Samantha says there's past Thanksgiving parades of Macy's. Yeah, I could do that too because I'm sure I haven't seen it all. Digital says, is magic allowed in court? Yeah, right. Hello, she 2000. Do we have feedback from the jury yet? Not that I know of, but there is something that Michelle After Dark said. And I'll show that to you. It's on X. I don't know that it is true. I don't know that it's not true. Okay. But I will say this. I'm going to show you some things that I found. And I'm like, no, this could lead to a interference, a coloring of the jury. Mario says Odin magic. Yeah. Ballistic sorcery. Yes, it is. Ballistic sorcery. Odin magic. Let's see. Let me catch up with you. Teresa says, I believe the jury was tampered with. We're going to look at some things. Samantha says, well, when Walt Disney graces the courtroom, you got to have some magic too. Absolutely. Let's get Disney involved with Bridge Guy. Y'all, I just can't. I think that is the one thing that another thing that gasps my flabbers. My flabbers are gasted, in other words, is that you have this little tiny speck in the background. I want to see the picture. That is the picture I want to see so bad. Bridge Guy, the speck in the background that all of a sudden we know exactly what he looks like. Thank you, Disney. Thank you, NASA. Thank you, AI. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So, I'm flabbergasted at that photo. And if the photo is as described by many people who were in the courtroom as being a speck, how did you ever come up with this? It is a story. And that's what Disney's great at. Not so much, though. Their stocks are falling. Have y'all heard that? Disney's not doing so good these days. Hey, Mother of Dragons, how are you? Good morning. There you go. Nobody nothing. Yeah, you're right, Digital. Sometimes you just got to laugh because of the ridiculousness of it all. Oh, the ridiculousness of it all. All right, let me find you some. Let me see if I can pull this up without causing a major problem. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Um. Yes. I want to see the receipt that Disney or NASA had to do with that forgery. You know what? Yes, I do too. Um, I had a very good comment. Maybe I can pull it up. Uh, let's see. Let me get rid of some stuff. Maybe I can pull it up on my channel. I meant to put it up here in just things that we talk about, like I do, like little slides. But somebody was made a long post about how we have been lied to, how the public was. We were gathered. I mean, and this should make you angry because the people, the public, were used, absolutely used during this whole thing, and I tell you, it makes me very, very upset, very mad. Good morning, David Rogers. Hello. Let's see. Okay. Let me go back to here where I can see. This is just mine. Okay, let me look at this post. Let me start with the bottom. This was also from Andrea Burkhart. Mr. Rosie questioned Melissa Oberg about whether she had ever told anybody in law enforcement any of the investigations that her techniques were about as reliable as paternity testing. Now, that sounds really reliable, right? Okay, a little bit further in this statement, talking about Holman, said he believed and he shared that with other law enforcement officers. He put that out there. He concedes he understands that differently now. Well, you know, first of all, uh, I think Jerry is trying. Old Jer, who I don't trust. I'm sorry. I don't trust him for so many reasons. But even old Jer is backing up and saying, "Hey, you know what? I thought it was the ballistics. It was reliable as a paternity test, and I found, I find out differently now. See it differently. Um, but here's the thing." Old Jer wants us to believe that law enforcement, that part of it, oopsie, we were just trusting what the experts said. In my opinion, and it is my opinion only, and maybe we share the same opinion, I think that they found someone to work that magic. Okay, I don't believe that you were bamboozled, Jer. No, you were more of the bamboozler, not the bamboozly. Bamboozlery. Bamboo. I don't know. What would that be? I think it's a crock of crap. Uh, yes. We the people have been obfuscated and violated. Yes, we the people have. I'm going to put this out here. I do agree, She 2000. I think there's a lot of tactics, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was also working magic in other ways. I mean, you have to assume that if people don't want to be caught in their lies, they continue to try to do things. I don't know. Hello, a woman doing what is this? Krebin? I don't know what that is. Do y'all know what that is? But good morning. Uh, yes, digital. I'm with you. The quickest way to make me mad is to assume I'm stupid. Uh, You're killing me, Dark Arts. Old Jer knows stupid looks good on him, so he wears that patch. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, nobody, nothing. I'm a conspiracy realist as well, not just in this case, but a lot of things. Um, let's see. Um, Artist says, so did Cinderella's godmother wave her magic wand and produce Bridge Guy? Or did Mark Robert Cohen have that enhanced while he went to his kids' Make a Wish trip to Disney? Ooh, oh, that's spicy. That is spicy. Um, I did not watch the Mario. I did not watch the new John Bonet documentary. There's a lot I want to watch on Netflix. I have Netflix. My family watches Netflix. I could not tell you the last time I watched Netflix, or Amazon, or Hulu, or any of the many things that I have. I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube, um, mostly because not that there is some great are some great documentaries on Netflix though. Absolutely. Time. I'm waiting for something to give me time. Um, yeah, artist is spicy this morning. Really spicy. All right, so let me go back over here because this is what really this really got me. Okay, Andreas says, and I don't know how I missed this. Maybe y'all didn't. Maybe I was just, going too fast through her stuff. This is a direct quote. Once again, last night, and this is on day 11, I think. Once again, last night, the jurors had access to their phones to speak with their families. So they were questioned again to verify no outside information, no media coverage. Nobody's tried to communicate with them. Okay, I want to know how you are vetting this. Okay, because if I have my phone and I'm just calling and talking, are you listening to every word and writing down every word the family says to me or that I'm saying? Or are you just asking me while you were on a 20-minute or whatever? I don't know what time limit they had, if they had one. While you were on the phone with your family, are you just having to raise your hand and swear and say, no, I didn't talk about the case? Are we going to just believe that from every single juror? Or did they, listen? Did they vet that? Okay, because this is a real problem for me. Because, and let me just say this real quick. Okay, think about it. If they weren't vetting, if they weren't recording, listening like the FBI to every thing that was talked about with these jurors and their families, if some of these people, okay, Indiana, not people know people. If they're talking to their families and all they're doing is swearing that they didn't say anything, and let me just say, I thought when you were sequestered, you weren't supposed to have any outside contact. That was my understanding, but I guess they weren't quite that much or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But let's just say that somebody in the community knows you and your family, and they know that you are a juror. How easy would it be for them to intimidate your family and, threaten your family so that when you get on the phone, maybe there's a code word. Maybe, I don't know. What did you talk about? What did they say? Did they intimidate the jury? And I do have a problem with if they didn't go. And here's the thing, too. We're talking about the Delphi case. We're talking about Indiana. Even if they said, oh, yeah, we listened, they never talked about it. Do we believe them? No, because we don't believe anything you say, law enforcement. We stopped believing you a long time ago. What you say, we're probably going to say, it's probably the exact opposite. The truth is probably 180 degrees from what you just said. You know how I know when you're lying to us? When your lips are moving and words are coming out. That's how I know. That is where we are in this case. So, am I going to believe them? No. So, I do have a problem with this because it opens up the door. Was the jury tainted? Okay. That's not even what I was going to show you by Michelle. That was just something that I caught as I was going through Andrea's stuff. I'm like, wait. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of being sequestered? I'm not saying you should have to be away from your family, but you do. You do have to be away from your family if you are in a trial like this, right? That's part of it. Let me see what y'all are saying. Let's see. Some of y'all, yeah, some of y'all have some funny things to say. I'll tell you that. I don't trust anything out of Carroll County but Truth Seeker. I mean, there are a few people that I believe are very sincere. I'm saying law enforcement, most of them. I think in law enforcement in Carroll County, either you are crooked or you are just out of the loop and you honestly don't know. You really don't know what's going on. That's my guess. Hello, Deanna. Good morning. I want to know how during deliberations media were aware of the information that the jury was requesting to review. I don't know. Was it because I don't know. Was it because of people coming in and out that they good question. I know, everybody was surrounding the courthouse. It was, people were camping out there. So was it something that somebody said? I don't know. Shay says they may have had limited use of their phones, but only under the watchful eyes of bailiffs or court personnel. I would assume so. My question is, did they listen to every word? And my other question is, if the family said something, would they have reported it? I mean, okay. So that's how they. That's how they knew what they were doing. Bob Mata interviewed Rosie's wife and daughter outside court. Okay. Let's see. Are you kidding me? Those bailiffs were busy munching banana bread sent by BP. Is that true? It could be. Or somebody else. I love me some banana bread, though. I really do. Okay, Nobody Nothing says, I was sent Facebook Messenger from DP after the verdict was read, and he states, and I quote, well, I can't say the same. I've done plenty wrong. Just don't believe it's anything I've ever been caught for. My. Well, there you go. Nancy Drew, good morning. How are you? Let's see. All right. Let's look at some more stuff. Where am I at? All right. Now, I found this interesting. These are things that I reposted. Don't dox me for this says, have you read or seen the Click report on it? Talking about Delphi, whatever, the whole thing. It includes the Flora fires. Abby and Libby weren't the only ones. This cover-up goes deep. I have not seen the click report. If somebody knows, put a comment down, put a link down. I am sure that is why that Todd Click was whatever, these charges against him prior to the trial. I am sure that the prosecution was terrified of hearing from Todd Click. So I really and we're talking about I think we're also talking about old screenshots and Imgur uploads of Cheyenne's photos from the day. The metadata is the same. Okay, let me pull this up a little bit. We're talking about the bridge picture. The bridge pictures. And I'll tell you what, I went on Imgur this morning and I was trying to find it and I can't. If anybody knows a link for that. It doesn't surprise me though, not as much. Let's see. Is it true they were passing out banana nut bread? I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. You couldn't sway my opinion, but you could get me to listen to you for some banana bread. All right. What? I was watching a live and folks were eating bread that BP made and brought out for the people in line. Interesting. John Smith. I blame the Russians. Really? Well, first of all, Nancy Drew, I can't do unsweetened tea. It's an abomination to God and everything holy. But that's the opinion in Alabama. No, I do have some friends that drink unsweet tea, and I do question their sanity. But I don't drink sweet tea a whole lot. It's great, but I don't drink sugar very often. You've got to be careful with the stuff you eat in Carroll County. When I was at the courthouse, I got an unsweetened tea from Pizza King, and I had a horrible stomach ache for several hours. Interesting. But again, was it there, or was it just the unsweet tea? Yes, Mother of Dragons. Yes, we have sweet tea in the South. We have to. Yeah, you have to. Um, uh, okay. Let me go back to X. All right. Another thing I found interesting was Carbon. Talking about it is in print in legal documents. Bree Wilbur said the bridge picture was taken, and you'll see if you can just click on mine, but or follow Carbon, either one. But at one time, it is said that the picture, the timestamp. How do you get a timestamp different? Timestamp is a timestamp. 1225 was one timestamp. This other one says 1243. Now that is roughly a 20-minute, roughly 18 minutes, but roughly a 20-minute difference. A lot can happen in 20 minutes, and a lot of people can come by. You see what I'm saying? This is so crazy. All right, this is by, I don't know if this is Nicola Walsh. Have y'all seen, and they're talking about a new video from EOA. I have not seen it. New videos that drop from EOA usually come straight up on my homepage, and I have not seen it. These are pictures supposedly by Cheyenne. It's just, I would like to see him on Imgur. I just don't have it. Now, here's the thing I wanted to show you by Michelle After Dark, talking about the jury. Yeah. Okay, so Again, this is speculation. Let me make that clear. We do not know anything. But this is so. I mean, you can check out Michelle After Dark. Y'all probably have seen her. Um, but this is from the group Delphi Murders Uncensored. Okay, so I have a connection to someone who was on the jury. Now, it's an anonymous member. Do they really? I don't know. She said, there's a gag order until December, and then we will all hear so much more. Now, I've been team innocent 95% of the time. So I asked why the heck they found him guilty, and she said that the jury found out Richard Allen and Kagan Klein interacted. They think maybe Klein told Allen the girls were going to the trail that day. Sorry, my whole desk is shaking. Sachi, stop. They think maybe Klein told Allen the girls were going to the trail that day. Now we had to stop talking and I heard nothing more. My question, why wasn't that presented in court then? I wondered, I didn't get the opportunity to ask, but I am wondering how the jury found that out. I don't know. Have y'all heard any rumors? Have y'all heard that at all? I just have to wonder as well. And I don't believe everything I read, but what? Nancy Drew says the banana bread story is true. Julie Melvin talked about her having some there in line. Wow. Yeah, lemonade and sweet tea, that's a good combo. Spinster. I love that name. That is so cute. Is unsweetened tea not an option in the South? It is. It is. Because, and there are a lot of people who are diabetic or whatever that have to have unsweet tea. But if you do not have to have it for dietary reasons, it's not that we don't have it. You're kind of frowned upon, maybe judged, the side eye, Unsweet tea. What are you thinking? I've tried when I've dieted before. I've tried, adding like Splenda or something, and it's not the same. It just doesn't hit the same. It's not the same, and that's why I call it an abomination. As well as sugar-free coffee creamers. Like, no, don't even hit me with that stuff. Artist says any outside communication with the jury should have been recorded. I'm sure they could have found some guards that know how to work video equipment. Yeah, they can work it, but they can't record it. They can't. They wouldn't be able to keep it. It would just be erased. Oops, like the 70 days. Let's see. So Nancy Drew, Indiana has no idea how to make sweet tea. It is, yes, it is a spiritual experience. Like it is. You got to get the balance just right. But it is definitely a staple here. Yeah, 7 stars. That was my question too. How did the jury make a connection to KK? Because he was not brought up in the whole trial. So that's the one thing that I was thinking about. If this is true, why would that even be a thing? Because they shouldn't have heard about it. Okay, either they knew about it first, in which if they knew about this case and they knew about Kagan Klein and all this kind of stuff, they should never have been on the jury to start with, because you already have a preconceived notion, right? I mean, most people, I'm not saying that you can't know all about a case and still be unbiased. But most people, some people could. Most people can't, because remember we talked about that psychological thing, and there's a term for this. Whatever you learn first about a subject, your brain will always keep trying to validate that. Even years later, your brain is going to validate that first belief. You're going to have, it's harder to convince somebody of something that, even if you have like great information, brand new details, you know, it is just harder to overcome that. That is the way that we are wired. And so if they had any kind of preconceived notion that Kagan Klein and Richard Allen had some kind of contact or whatever, it is hard to overcome. But and you should not be on a jury. All right. Let's see. Samantha says, at Artist, well, they couldn't find anyone to figure out those 72,000 speakers in the courtroom. Yeah. Yes, it was rumored in the beginning, She 2000. It was rumored that there was a connection between them, but clearly, I'm sorry, I've got a cat in front of me. But clearly, there wasn't any relation there. There wasn't anything. There wasn't any connection, because if there had been, then Kagan would have been brought by the prosecution. I mean, what has Kagan got to lose at this point? Just saying somebody else is guilty? You would think that maybe he would even get some time off for cooperation. But that never came up. Let's see. So they brought up the whole Snapchat story. Yeah. So they bought the whole, they bought the whole Snapchat story. Apparently, I don't know how you could when they clearly said it didn't come from Libby's phone. So I don't know. You think that, hello, J Rabbit. You think it's sus? I mean, I think it's sus just in general, because we don't have any. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it is true. I'm saying, is it true? Are we going to find this out? Because GH just so happened to put out a video 3 days ago talking about the connection. I will tell you this: I do not watch. Okay, I have no idea, none, about what goes on that channel. I do not watch it. So I will say this, though, there have been plenty of connections that creator had a lot of knowledge that he shouldn't have had. Okay? So I think even the white van, okay, there are things that should not have been made public that were. But is it sus? Yeah. I think it's sus. You have to have more information than one post, okay? It's just, My connection with it, J Rabbit, is that if it's true that the families were allowed to, if the jurors were allowed to talk to their families, how do we know? How do we know that somebody didn't say something? That's my question. I would like to have proof, but would I believe the proof that Carroll County gave me? No. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's why honestly, that particular channel, J Rabbit, is why when I very, very first started investigating Delphi, I watched some things of his just because, you're trying to learn. You're trying to hear all sides of the story. But I very quickly understood that he had an agenda. And I cannot believe anybody somebody who has an agenda. You have to be able to give me some facts and to be open-minded. Let's say what happened. Let's truly investigate. Hey, Pam Frenchman, how are you? Good to see you this morning. Thank you. By the way, Pam, thank you for some of the things that you emailed me, just the encouragement. It was nice and needed. So thanks a whole lot. Okay, RC99. At first, I thought this sounded crazy, but it's plausible. It would be their way of using third-party ruling to their advantage. I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I don't know. I'm sorry. I am distracted, but I know you can't see her, but she is literally right in front of my screen. Come here, madam. If you're gonna cross in front of me, come here. Come here. Let everybody see your pretty face. Y'all can't see, but I can see. Okay, stop. That's Sachi. If you don't know, that's my cat, Sachi, who loves to cross in front. Sorry, I know, I'm just blasting y'all out now. Who loves to cross in front of me, and she blocks my vision. You can't tell, but I can tell. Do you know who controls the Facebook page? No, I don't. And I'll tell you what, I never, ever, I'm in a bunch of Facebook groups. I never say anything in the Facebook groups. I just I'm a lurker. Yes, I'm one of those. I'm a lurker. And I'm a lurker in a lot of groups. I just want information, okay? I'm not there to make friends and influence people. I am there to just gather information, and that's what I do. Yes, no proof between the two. Let me see what you're saying. Do I have a membership link to drop? I don't. I mean, I don't know how. I know you can go on my homepage and like the YouTube homepage, and it should say become a member. It might in the chat, Nancy Drew, it might give you an option down there. Somebody was saying that they couldn't join my membership yesterday, and I'm like, it's got to be a YouTube issue. Oh no, are you kidding me, Shay? I sent Prof a screenshot of GH on Facebook saying they could never have solved the case without him. That is hysterical. Well, they still didn't solve the case, did they? They still didn't solve the case. I was listening to something. I can't even remember what it was last night. Something that went back into Robert Ives. That interview that we have watched, I know I've watched it 1,000 times, and I know y'all have too, but it still was just going back to that, the way he said things and how this case should have been solved. There's a reason it wasn't solved. That's why he got out. That's why he didn't want any part of the trial. Okay, let me look back in here and see if there's anything else I need to I did want to talk about this. I think I talked about this a little bit in my let me flip it over here. In my members only, that I just talked about some stuff that I wasn't going to say like openly. I mean, it's not like it's, government secrets, because it's not expensive to join my membership. Not really, but it's just things that I would rather not say openly, but I will say it to y'all. Some of the things I'm going through. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you, Jay Rabbit. body count part 2. Yeah. I need some more that reminds me though, I do have a slide I want to show y'all. Okay, if you didn't know, and I'm sure that most of you that follow the case and the creators, last week there was an email going out. It said it was from Nick McClelland, and I did not get one, but I'm pretty sure I've already been compromised from something else. Prof did not get one either, but he knows he's been compromised. But there was in case you didn't know, there was an email that came out to a lot of creators. These are the creators that are pro, free Richard Allen. And it said it was from Nick McClelland. Now, Slick Nick says, "Oh, I was hacked." I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm not saying he was. I don't know. He said he was hacked, his email. But it came out to a lot of creators, and it gave some kind of link. I've not seen the actual email, but if you clicked on that link, it would take your IP address. Your IP address is what tells people where your location is. So, a lot of creators were made nervous, felt threatened last week because if they clicked on that link, then people will know exactly where you're broadcasting from, where your internet is, your city, state, your exact address. Now, Prof was already compromised a long time ago. I have a feeling, because of some of the connections I've had in the past, I probably was also. I did not receive the email, nor do I ever click on links from, I have to know you. Like, you have to have been my friend for a while. And there are some things that y'all send me and I know who it's from. I do not think a second about opening that email. But let's see here. That reminds me, before I get, did I find that info from Baston? Silky, we need to look again. What? No. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just having like a brain cramp this morning. Do you have any? You can email me or put down anywhere I need to go. Let me try to pull. Let me just read this to you, okay? Because this was a comment on one of my videos and talking about the body count. And remember, we talked about Nate Miller. This is what this person said. Oh, interesting. I just noticed something about this name. But anyway, the comment says Nate Miller was rumored to have provided an alibi for Pat Brown. If y'all didn't know that, yes, he did. Now, Nate Miller was the policeman. To remind you again, Nate Miller was a policeman. He had not been in Delphi. He had not been in Carroll County and part of that police force, but maybe about 6 months. Now, as far as we know, there was no prior history of anything dark, depressing, family problems, anything like that. But he did start with Delphi, and he took a job with Delphi. And then 6 months into that, he goes on duty, really kind of there where he could easily be found. He is sitting in his squad car, and he unalives himself by bullet, okay? And people were shocked, like, why? Nobody could understand why he did this. He was a young guy. He had good health, good family, respectable job. Like, what in the heck, Nate Miller? But this is true. Nate Miller was rumored to have provided an alibi for Pat Brown, the person that found the bodies of Libby and Abby. And also, Pat's truck was parked overnight in the cemetery near the crime scene on February 2017 from the 13th I can't say it. 13th. Sounds like a cat sneeze, right? The 13th and 14th, due to his claim that he lost his keys. Quote, he lost his keys. Pat was apparently a person of interest until the alibi. True. Let me go back to where I can see y'all. I'm trying to think who had an audio. It might have been Joe Lewis who had, and this has been like a long time ago, like almost 2 years ago. I found a video. I think it was him that had an audio of, they didn't say who it was. Maybe Joe knew, maybe he didn't say, but it was someone who did a call needing help out of the cemetery because they had lost their keys. Now, it was later acknowledged that that was Pat Brown. And yes, Nate Miller was his alibi. But at some point, Nate, as he got further involved in the case, I don't know. He unalived himself. A lot of people. So therefore, or did he unalive himself? That's always been a question. I mean, hey, it's Carroll County. Weird things happen to people. People do some stuff. Oh, how to send me a link? Let me type it down here. Well, you can put it in the comments. You can put it in here. Because sorry. We're just talking about links. You can put it in the comments. I do have an email address, although I probably will not use mine address to access any links, so it might take me a little bit. Let me type it down here. My email is Silky and Southern. It won't let me type the whole thing, so you can click it. Silky and Southern at Gmail. I hope I typed that right, because half the time I type silly, or it autocorrects as silly and Southern. I'm like, well, it's kind of not off the mark either. So what, there's a fake Andrea Burkhart, really? Huh. Is that a YouTube channel? I haven't seen it, if it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think you can on the replay. I think you can also. Can you post a link on there? I don't know, but you can send me an email. You sure can. Please ask Silky to read through the Baston document. Okay. Yeah, I need to see the Baston document. Yeah, that's the thing. It is, especially now. I'm not saying that I think any of you people are nefarious, but because of what is going on with creators right now, I'm not clicking links. But if you will send me like a website or something that has a link to it or has a link on it, I will go there. I would love to have that. All right. I wanted to read. Let me see if I can find this real quick and share it with you, because somebody put. Let me go to my comments. Somebody put a really, really good comment on a video that I did. I don't know if it was yesterday's live. Let me go back to here. Sorry. But it was talking about, why can't I find my comments? Where did you go? Okay. All right, let me see if I can share this where you can see it. And reset it. I mean, I'm not sharing anything that is not that's a secret, okay? Because oh, that's terrible. Hold on. Jeez. The way this is. Let me move this over here. Can you even see that anymore? There we go. I'll just share this. This is the back door to my YouTube. It's okay. It is okay. All right. And I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. Okay, Juggling Pumpkin said, when Ron Logan's ex-girlfriend saw the video of BG, she said she knew for sure it was Ron Logan and told police that. Well, we know we know that the FBI thought that as well. The trouble is that whomever BG is, that man may have nothing to do with the unalivings. Yeah, I've said that. Yeah, 100%. I have even more questions about it now after we heard from trial and how far away BG was when down the hill statement was made. It seems unlikely that BG could have covered such a great distance in that short a time. BG likely did not say down the hill. Someone standing close by did. Yes, let me say that. I'm so glad that came up, Juggling Pumpkins. If you see this, that is something that has really been burning in my brain. Okay, and I've said it before, but y'all, do you understand? Like, do you? I mean, y'all have probably thought of this too, but it's like, how do you take a picture of a little speck, and then you're saying that this voice is the one that said down the hill, which actually may not have said down the hill, or guys or girl. Like, we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. It's like the ghost. It's like the ghost stuff. You make it sound like whatever you want it to sound like. But that's the thing. Come on, let's just be reasonable. Let's be logical. How do you hear a voice come across a phone when you're at that distance, even coming up? Will the sound carry? Yes, it will carry. It sure will over water. But is an iPhone going to be able to pick it up and make any sense of it? Is it going to be close enough that you could even hear? Because, I mean, I'm just thinking about, I've had an iPhone. My kids have had iPhones for years. I've had one for about, 5 or 6 years. And excellent phone, but could I pick up what voices said at a distance? I'm like, even when I've been outside, say me and the family are doing something and somebody's a nice little distance away, not even as far as Bridge Guy was, you can hear, iPhone will pick up maybe a little blur, a little tiny, you can hear something, you don't know if it's a cricket, you don't know what it is. There's like a little sound in the background. You can't make out what anybody says. So you have to digitally enhance it. So now it has been enhanced a whole bunch of times. We don't know what it said. But in my opinion, I agree with this, that the person who said this, if you could get any kind of extraction at all, they would have to be much closer, which leads me to believe that Bridge Guy is not the perpetrator. He was just a guy, somebody standing there, minding his own business. Or if he was involved, there had to be at least two perpetrators, someone who was standing closer to the girls. Now, I don't believe, after everything that I heard, the evidence in court, I don't believe anything about guys down the hill. I don't. I don't even know that that's what he said, that that's the voice. I think it's all made up. I think that all the photos are made up. That little speck in the distance, we don't know what the heck that was, who that was. Or if Bridge Guy even is guilty of anything except just being a guy on the bridge. It makes it so much harder, in my opinion. Hey, Four Pets. Sorry, I'm behind on chat. Good to see you. Glad you're doing okay. Nobody Nothing says, I'm going to send you some video and pics. Yes, absolutely. Please do. Good morning, Andre. Good to see you too. Okay, let's see what you're saying. 7 stars. Silky, the defense tried to get Baston, but he either refused to come to court or they wouldn't. Oh, okay. Oh, I remember now. The guy in jail. Yes, Robert. It wasn't Robert Baston. That wrote to the court about his mistreatment in Westville. Okay, see, I'm like, I know the name, but the dots don't connect. That's me. That's ADD brain. That's it. Yes, he would not. Absolutely. If y'all remember, this was back, wasn't it in the hearing in April of 2023 that they were supposed to bring Baston to court? This is when Richard Allen was in La La Land and Baston was supposed to testify, and they went to get him, and he refused to come out of his cell. He refused to go to Carroll County. And here's the thing. He's been very vocal a lot of times about the mistreatment and the way that things are done in Westville. So it would not have been the first time. If you're going to be that vocal, not just for Richard Allen, but in general, he had a lot to say. Well, the whole purpose of saying that would be to have things be changed. So by writing these kind of letters, you're going to be questioned. So why are you going to take the time to do all this, but yet when you have the chance to say something, you absolutely will not leave your cell? I'm going to say it's fear of what is going to happen. So yeah, okay, Nobody Nothing. All right. That would be great. Let's see. Thank you for stuff that you're sending. Absolutely. Yes. Let me say hello, True Grit Crime. Good to see you. Four Pits. The lady wasn't with Ron for many years prior. That's true. She was an old girlfriend, wasn't she? Yeah. But still, I mean, you know somebody pretty well. I'm not saying that I think Ron Logan did it. I think there's a greater chance that Ron Logan was on the bridge, not doing anything. I think there was a good chance he was on the bridge and he could be Bridge Guy, but that doesn't mean that he's the perpetrator. I don't think Bridge Guy necessarily was the perpetrator. Do I think Ron Logan knew more than what he was saying? Absolutely. Again, doesn't make him the criminal. Jamie Don 82, he would have to have been screaming for them to hear that clearly from that distance. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not going to happen. Even if it was just 43 seconds crossing that bridge. No. That was a long distance. It's going to take longer. And if you see somebody coming towards you and they are that far away and the bridge is that rickety, You have time to run. What, you're going to just stand there? No. If they felt any kind of fear or whatever, like, you have natural instincts. You think it's DC's voice? Look, I'm not going to name names, but I've listened to that voice, which now that I know that it has been enhanced so much, I'm going to say I don't even know that I believe that's anywhere close to the voice. But if we were going to go and say that voice is correct, there are about 3 people that every time I hear them speak, I'm like, holy crap, that sounds like the Guys Down the Hill video. But I don't trust any of it. All right. What? Hello. 11. Hello. These people believe that Kelsey could communicate with the dead. What people? What? Hello. I've never heard anything like that. Jane Darby, this case is a real hinky deal. Yes. Hello. Good to see you. Yes, True Grit Crime. Baston was supposed to be brought in court. Oh, in March. Okay, wasn't he supposed to be last year also? Maybe I'm just wrong about the dates. It's all a big blur. But of 2024, it was said Leesenby was instructed to ignore a subpoena. Oh yeah, and not bring him to court. I did hear that. But the first time, I'm thinking that is the time that he refused to come. Oh yeah, you're right. They probably lied about him refusing. Yeah. I mean, y'all, do you really think Carroll County would lie to you? I mean, I'm sure he just refused, right? It is terrible. It is laughable. It would be laughable if it wasn't so tragic. But I believe I do believe, even just taking Richard Allen out of it, I believe that Baston is telling the truth. I do. I believe that he's not the only one, too, that says how terrible Westville is. I mean, I think it's a thing. Kay said, I don't think it's true that Baston refused to go. The judge told them not to transport him because they didn't want him to testify due to the SKO that was in place. He was supplanted, so we can't refuse. I mean, that's true. I could be completely wrong. Maybe he wasn't just afraid and refused to go. Maybe they didn't. That would be probably even the more likely scenario. I mean, they make stuff up, okay? And if you haven't realized that about Ellie in this case, they make stuff up. They make stuff up about, oh yeah, I read the Miranda rights, and the only reason you don't see it on the video is the video was delayed. Or they, make stuff up about 70 days worth of testimony. Yeah, oopsie. We recorded over it. Oh no, we don't have any record of who was interviewed during. It was just a mistake. I mean, come on. We all know. Yes, 100%. Westville had guards walking around with Odin patches on their uniform. Yeah, and that was proven. In court. I would be interested. I'm just going to tell you this, artist. I know you're talking to Four Pits. I'd like to know about that situation as well. I've done a couple of videos. It's been a long time now about money and property in Delphi, and where some very odd things have occurred. All right. let me see. Okay, so we were talking about Nate Miller. Let me go back to where I was right here. I wanted to read to you what somebody said. Oh man, I'm a bunch of comments behind. Good Lord. Well, I will, maybe I'll just look at, I want to bring up, though, the one thing that somebody said about everybody being used, because I did not agree, and I knew that everyone would not agree on every point that she made. But she was 100% right about how the public was taken advantage of and how we're still being taken advantage of. Okay? Because now you're just shoving this injustice down our throat when you asked for public help. See, in the very beginning, it's like, have you seen Bridge Guy? Have you done? But knowing that it was made up, knowing that it wasn't true. So you started this whole case, Indiana, and I mean all of you. I mean all of you that participated in this crap, this Bridge Guy, the audio, the lies, one after another. Oh, after 2 years. Oh, forget about old Bridge Guy. See, I don't understand this. Because in 2019, they specifically said, okay, and I just listened. Hold on, my microphone's about to come off the desk. They specifically said, and I just listened to this interview, like maybe last week, to forget about old Bridge Guy. Okay? Forget about him. He's not involved. That sketch, you can put it to rest. They literally said that guy had been cleared. Cleared. All right? So, 2019, throw away the old Bridge Guy. We're going to look at young Bridge Guy, again, who fits Betsy Blair's description. But now you arrest in 2022, you arrest Richard Allen. All of a sudden, Bridge Guy's back. Old Bridge Guy is right back here. I mean, can you not see how manipulative that was? If in 2019 you said, old Bridge Guy has been cleared, forget about this sketch. Then in 2022, you bring it back. Do you not see? That was a whole lie. That was a whole lie. All of a sudden, you needed old Bridge Guy. And then, Doug Carter does that, waving the magic. Let's combine them. Let's wave the magic wand. Combine these two pictures, and what do you get? Poof, you get Richard Allen. I mean, I don't know how stupid you think I am. It would be one thing, okay? It would be one thing if law enforcement got up and said, we told you to, if they sounded somewhat honest, if they at least tried to convince you they had a little bit of integrity, you would think they would say something like, you know what? When we went back and we looked, we made a mistake when we said forget old Bridge Guy, that he had been cleared. We thought he was somebody else. You could have said, you know what? We made a mistake and there was something that we overlooked. And so this guy is still a person of interest, or maybe this is Richard Allen. Oh, but no, because you already told one lie about Bridge Guy because you have no idea what he looked like other than the descriptions of Sarah Carbaugh and Betsy Blair, who got the best descriptions. You got Rayleigh Voorhees, but she couldn't really see his features, all right? So we're looking at Sarah and that whole fiasco. Betsy Blair, who gives a description. This is what you got to go by, all right? It's not that picture. It's not that interpolated picture, AI crap, BS. You've got eyewitnesses. They may or may not be accurate. Okay, we know. And people don't remember correctly. But if you could have at least been honest and said, we really don't know. We've got this as a potential witness, an older guy, a younger guy, not bridge guy, not a made up guy. You've lied. You've lied from day one, from the inception of this idea. And then instead of just saying, hey, we have screwed this up, like really, just forget everything we're going to do at sketches, forget bridge guy, we don't know who this is. Instead of doing anything that is reasonably, has any kind of reasonable believability, you're just like, no. And look over here. You have the old guy. Look over here. You've got the young guy. Now we're going to meld them together. And you've got Richard Allen. Okay, it's my drama morning. It's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I'm gonna stop. I'm getting all heated up. I'm getting on a roll, y'all. I'm waking up and getting on a roll. All right, let's see. Oh my gosh, y'all are saying such good things in here. I agree. Let me catch this up. It's very difficult to dress someone with clothes over clothes, wet, yes, etc., and not leave any DNA or other evidence. Exactly. It's hard to do. Have y'all ever tried to put wet clothes or dry clothes on a wet body? I mean, just think about it. I'm not like, that sounds weird. I've never done that to like a body. I mean, I am a nurse. I have had to deal with dead bodies, but I'm talking about when you go and swimming, okay? Like, don't get weird on me. Like, when you go swimming and you're still kind of wet, or you don't even have a towel, you forgot your towel and you got to pull your pants or your shorts up over your wet body. Like, no. Wet clothes, like, come on. It is very difficult. Ninja Warrior says, I've always thought there was more than one motive in these unalivings. Land is one of them. Yeah, could very much be so. When you start looking at stuff, it's just, I've listened to a lot of the city council meetings and I'm like, huh? What are you? Let's see. Let me find, because I'm going to have to go here in just a minute. I got to get ready for work today. Yeah, Kayla, there's a whole lot of stuff. The stories that they put out about Libby. I'm like, come on, Libby was fantastic. She was fantastic. You didn't have to make up some stuff and try to make something out of a story that wasn't. I don't even know. Good morning, Kathy S. Hey, sorry, yeah, and I'm fixing to go, but I'm glad you joined us for a little bit. Y'all have some really good stuff. Okay. So there you go. Were we taken advantage of? Yes, and I will read, or maybe I'll just repost the post. But we were taken advantage of, and they are still taking advantage of us. Okay, they're still taking advantage because they want us to believe this crock of poo, and say, "Oh, okay, you got the right guy," even though all the evidence points to it's BS. Let's just stir that crock of BS and see how high the smell can go up. How much are you going to take? All right. I appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with me this morning. I will not be live tomorrow because it is my Thanksgiving, but I will be just hanging out. We'll talk about anything, everything, whatever. If you have nothing to do on Thanksgiving early part of the day, I'm going to hang out with you and we're just going to chit chat. Just kind of keep each other company, have a third, fourth cup of coffee. I don't know. Maybe a turkey leg. I don't know. Whatever y'all want to do. But I appreciate you so much. And I will see you Thursday. Stay safe. Oh my gosh, my dog. Whatever you do, y'all, stay silky. Bye-bye.